Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome to this session, this webinar, the second webinar we have from District 59, How to Charter a Club. As you know, we are running a series of three webinars. Last week we had a webinar about attracting and retaining members, and this week is about how to charter a club. Next week, how to support a corporate club. So this week we are going to do something different from last week. We are going to talk about what do you need to do in order to charter the club in terms of the previous activities and above all the activities you need to perform in order to fill out all the forms, all the information that is needed when in order for you to, when submitting information to Toastmasters International, everything goes smoothly. So basically, what I want to explain first of all is we have, in terms of Toastmasters roles, when we are chartering, we have two important roles during the entire process. The first role is the role of club sponsor. And sometimes people ask me, what is a club sponsor and why do we need to be a club sponsor? Well, first of all, the club sponsor, as I mentioned here in the slides, is the person that organized the new club. So is the person that sometimes is the person that finds the location, identify the venue, maybe negotiates the price, which ideally will be free in order to have the session, try to identify other key people that are willing to be part of the initial committee, in this case in the initial officers team, and people that are committed to spread Toastmasters word in the company or even in the community. The responsibility of the sponsor is really to pick up everything needed, prepare everything in order the club to start having their normal sessions. So that's why I say that he set up the regular club meeting. So he defines along with the officers if the sessions will be like weekly sessions, each 2 weeks, monthly. So what will be the ideal schedule in terms of regular sessions? Also, he's the one that supports the Toastmasters and the club with all the paperwork. This is one of the things I'm going to talk today and one of the main focus of this presentation, the paperwork, because that's where sometimes things fail. Also, this sponsor is the person that will organize what we call it a demo meeting. A demo meeting is usually the first meeting of the club, and where there will be an additional effort in order to gather people to join, in this case guests from the local community, and it's the responsibility of club sponsor. And we can have up to 2 club sponsors supporting this new club. It's supposed to be experienced Toastmasters, so people that already know how Toastmasters work. They already probably they were already club officers, but not necessary. It's not mandatory to be club officers, but it's someone that knows very well how Toastmasters work. Also, this club sponsor counts toward the Advanced Leader Silver achievement, because you can be club sponsor or club mentor. The thing is, you don't want to be club sponsor only to have the Advanced Leader Silver Award. The goal is really to support the club. And sometimes when I see applications for charting a club, I see that there are names for people that sometimes they don't even know they are club sponsors of a club. Also the same thing to club mentors. Sometimes they don't know they are a club mentor. So they are there because someone decides to use their name as a club sponsor and mentor to even to count towards the Advanced Leader Silver. So the main thing is you need to identify 1 or 2 people that are willing to pick up everyone and support them creating the club. The second role that we have during the charter process is the club mentor, and we can have up to 2 club mentors to support the club in the first 6 to 1 year period after chartering. So if we look to these 2 roles, we see the club sponsor doing all the activities up to the charter moment, and from the charter onwards we are going to have the club mentors. Again, these are Toastmasters that have experience running a club. They belong to other nearby clubs, and sometimes they also belong to that club. And the goal is to help the officers team to schedule meetings, to attract new members, and to advise them in order to have a club that can be sustainable after the 6 months and even after 1 year. So the credit towards these two club sponsors and club mentors are given directly by Toastmasters. When the club is chartered, Toastmasters International sends to the member a letter that needs to be signed by the club president, saying that me as a club president, I guarantee that this person had the role of club sponsor and he or she did these activities needed to charter the club. Then after 6 months, the club mentor will receive a document from Toastmasters saying the same thing. So this is a person that fulfilled the role of mentor, and the president needs to sign this document. When we sign these documents and send to Toastmasters International, we are recognized as a club sponsor or as a club mentor. Now, before even the recognition, it's important to understand what are the steps we need to do in order to chart and, of course, afterwards to have regular meetings. So the first important thing is the venue. It's very important to find a venue that can easily be located near, for example, public transport, like a metro station, a bus station, where people can go there, or even parking around that can go there easily. Preferably, this venue could be for free. And there is a lot of sessions in Toastmasters around Europe. They pay, and others they have the venue for free. And sometimes you can have an exchange of services. As an example, one of our colleagues in Switzerland tried to open a new club in a specific place. And one of the things he told me is that the people in the venue wanted to charge for the venue. And he said, okay, how much is it? He tried to negotiate a low price. But at the end, he ended up presenting an option saying, look, if you drop your price, we can give you some sessions to your members, because this is a co-working space, to your members, your clients, where we can teach public speaking skills for free. And this is a trade-off. So by they giving the space and we giving some trainings for free in order to have this kind of trade. But the thing is, sometimes when we say that we can give them some trainings, we are forgetting something very important. We are not giving. We are not giving only our hours. We are giving money. So sometimes we don't think about the things that we do and we don't value them. Because imagine that, for example, he wants to schedule 5 sessions to all the people there, or even a speech craft, for example. The speechcraft tests or sessions time to prepare. They have materials, they have the time to deliver. All of this is our costs. And sometimes we are not considering these costs. And when we are negotiating a venue, we always say, okay, we can give you this. And we don't value, we don't price it. So for me, it's important to stress that when we are requesting something and a venue for free, it's nothing out of the world, we can say them what they are going to gain by having Toastmasters there. And one of the things is sometimes you can give them for free this kind of sessions, but price them. Say that these sessions cost around, for example, 5,000 euros. So we are giving you 5,000 euros. Don't under don't take your time and say that it's for free. Price it and say that that's what we are giving them. Secondly, we can give, for example, we can offer a fee, the fee for Toastmasters. Sometimes there are clubs that do that. Other things that we can do is we can tell them that they are going to have inside the session, inside all sessions, once per month, once each 2 weeks, once per week, people that have businesses. So if their businesses rent rooms, rent places, rent For training, we can have trainers in the sessions. We can have other people that might be interested in knowing that space, and if they like the space, they can hire the venue, for example. So sometimes we forgot that we have a lot of things that can help them promoting their venue, their locations inside Toastmasters, inside all Toastmasters members. And this is something that usually it's paid because it's an advertisement. So by having these kind of trade-offs, they give us the room and we say, okay, this is our partner, someone that is giving something. I think it's very interesting, and maybe not all the times we can have this kind of trade-offs, but most of them we can. But think again, don't try to say that we are giving things for free. They have a price and we are trading off from the room, we are giving something also away. So the venue is very important. Secondly, it's important also to have committed people. Without commitment, you cannot have a sustainable club. And the commitment starts from the two sponsors that want really, or one or two, up to two sponsors that really want to help this club to be chartered. In the district, we want to build new clubs, but it's not only by building. We don't want to build clubs only because it's one of the metrics we have. This metric means that we are taking Toastmasters concept to many people in the same city or in other cities, and that's the goal. That's what we want. It's not building clubs by building clubs. It's building clubs with people committed to their development, and the initial team, the initial officers team, and the sponsors committed to help the entire club to be sustainable. Each year to be at least 20 members in order to have a meeting with enough people, with enough diversity that can give and receive feedback with good speeches also. So it's very important, the commitment. And maybe in the beginning we don't have all the officers, but you need to have at least the club president, the club secretary. These two members are key in order to charter a club. You might not have the vice president of education, the vice president of membership, and all others. I advise you to have vice president of membership and education because they will help running the club in the next sessions. But club president and club secretary, they are important for the charter process. Also, it's important to announce the club locally. So it's important to find ways to promote for free or by asking money to the district in order to run, for example, a campaign to using the demo meeting line item in terms of budget, because we have a budget for demo sessions. So you can use this money in order to set up a demo session and use it to promote in social media, to buy some flyers that you can distribute locally, maybe to rent a special venue where you can have a more bigger audience. But it's very important that in the demo meeting you have the most people possible. So try to invite everyone that you think uh, can be there in order to have enough attendees to continue sessions afterwards. And that's another key aspect. So after demo session, you need to schedule the next one. And the next one is not the next month, it's all the next week. Have the commitment from the people there that the next meeting will be next week. And one of the things you can do is at the end of the session, you can say that we are going to have a session next meeting, for example, next Thursday at 8:30 CET, and we want to know who from the audience wants to join us, and we can even schedule, book, for example, roles like timekeeper and things like that. But it's important, of course, to have speeches and even to have people for the roles. So it's also key to have members from other clubs supporting you in the first sessions, because we are not going to have everyone needed to fulfill the roles. Sometimes we have, but normally we don't. So it's important to go and talk with other clubs that can help you building this new club. It doesn't need to be only the sponsors and also the mentors to this kind of work. So there is a need to have people inside each session to fulfill the roles. But the invitation of joining and ask people to join. So ask them, so did you like this session? Do you want to join? We have here the applications for you to sign, and they sign, they pay, and they can attend the next week as official Toastmasters in that session. So this kind of involvement, this kind of commitment, sometimes is what makes the difference from chartering a club some weeks after the demo meeting, or sometimes 1 or more years after the initial meeting. If we don't have people committed, if we don't involve them, if we don't ask them to join, because there is no problem asking someone to join Toastmasters, we are not going to have enough people to run the session. Now, the demo meeting is sometimes, I saw that in some countries, they organize an ad hoc meeting. Don't do that. The demo meeting should be exactly the first meeting of the club, and at that moment you should have the starter kit ordered and arrived by Toastmasters International. One of the process that we need to do is, first, if we decided to create a club, once again, commitment, we need to fulfill a document called application to organize. And I'm going to share that because I'm going to share some documentations in order for you to see what we need to use, and in order to help you not to avoid some of the issues that sometimes people, oh, let me see, okay. I'm going to show that. So the first document we need to use is the application to organize a Toastmasters Club. It's the document that I'm going to show you right now, and it's in the screen. Basically, this is a document where we are saying in which city we are going to meet, and at the end we fill information about who is the correspondent or the president, and all the data needed in order to have a specific address. And we need to pay. And when we do this, we are going to pay first of all 125 US dollars. And when you fulfill this application, when you put your credit card and send to Toastmasters International, they will ship you a box with 20 manuals to start the club and all the materials you need to run the demo session and to run the following ones. When we are looking to this document, we see the credit card, but you can pay by transfer, wire transfer. So if you send this application to organize the United States and decide to pay by bank transfer, you need to consider an additional 10% for administrative costs. And this is very important because sometimes people send this information, they don't consider the 10%, and the process is stuck in the United States. Sometimes they warn you, others they might not warn you, but it's very important. So fill out this information, say what is the kind of club, so community, if it's a club, a company club, what language do you want for the officer manuals, language for the members kit, because we are going to receive 20 members kit, and then fill all this information, send to the United States. If you want help from my side, so you can send the form before in order to review it, or I can review it with you by Skype, and if everything is okay, you send it and they send back the box. And with that box, you schedule the demo session and have all the materials ready to, if someone wants to enroll at the moment, they can pay and you can give the materials. Now, there is an important thing. You are not paying for the members kit. The $125 is to pay for the fee and the right to use Toastmasters concepts. The 20 manuals are going to be paid when we charter the club. That's the way to do it. So sometimes people think that when they pay the $125, everything is included. We don't have to pay anything more. Forget it. It's only a fee that you can recover when you charge the membership to the members. So if you have 20 members, and depending of course on the value that you are charging, but usually it's more than enough, you can recover the 125 that you are investing to create the club. So the commitment starts here when you send the application to organize. When start meeting regularly, you start having new members in the club. When they join the club, they need to fill out a new form that is mandatory for the charter process. That form is called, let me go again to open the charter members application. This charter, oh, by the way, everything is documented and I will share with you the information. I'm going only to point out some of the things that are critical and we cannot forget because otherwise the process will be complex. First, this is the document that everyone needs to sign, and you can have, in order to charter a club, at least 20 members. You can charter with more than 20, but you need to have at least 20 members. And in these documents, the only things we need to fill out is, first, if it's a new member or not, if it's a dual member, if it's a transferred member. So if you want to transfer someone from another club to this new club, you fill out this option. A dual member is someone that belongs to another club and wants to be also a member of this club. And you have a reinstated member. Reinstated member means that this person didn't renew before their membership. So, for example, someone that didn't renew in September, then they can join Toastmasters now and they can be reinstated. They don't need to pay anything more. They don't need to pay the initial fee, but also depending on the bylaws of each club, you can say that for a reinstatement there is an additional fee. That's also considered. You don't need to fill out this information. Oh, so if you say that this is a transferred member, you need to fill out the information about the name of the club, the number of the club, and the member's number. Secondly, you don't need to fill out anything regarding this form. Why? Because you already have the members kit. So in the box you have 20 members kit, so you don't need to fill out this information because the kit is already there. We need to fill out all the information about the person, so the personal information needs to fill out this information, and then there is no need also to fill out this data regarding dues and regarding additional fees. Why? Because there is a specific document that have all the necessary data, financial data, we need to fill out. And in the second page, the member only needs to sign and a club officer also. So, in summing up, you only need to fill out the information regarding the personal data, if it's a new member, dual, transfer, or reinstate, and then sign the fee. Nothing more. This documentation doesn't need to include any other information. And you do this for each of the 20 members that you will have in your club. If you have more than 20, okay, and in that situation you can, yes, mention that you want a new member kit, for example, in English or in Spanish or in Portuguese. Only in this situation. So only if there is a new member bill piece above the 20. Okay. Also, there is no need to fill out the financial information because there is a specific area where you can do that. So what I advise you is each time a member says, I want to join Toastmasters, you give this form, they fill out, they sign, and when you have all the documentation needed for the charter, you only need to send the information out. So you don't need to gather again signatures and all that things. And sometimes people create a specific form for joining the club and they forget this. This one is the most important one, and without this form, Toastmasters will not consider that member as a Toastmaster member, because this is the way that people send, the people say, I'm Nelson Emilio, this is my signature, and I want freely to join Toastmasters. You can have another form, an internal form for the club, but that's a different thing. So this one, it's key to have it signed. Additionally, you need, oh, by the way, this, as you can see, you can write directly to the PDF. So this is a writable PDF, and I advise you to use this functionality and write directly everything here instead of doing by hand, because handwriting sometimes we might write something that is not easily understood for our colleagues in the United States. So the best way to do it is use this capability of writing directly inside the PDF, and then, for example, the members, you can ask them previously their personal information, and when they go again to the club, they can check if everything is correct, and then they can sign. So it's the best way to use this kind of data. Additionally, we have another very important document, which is the club officers document. Oh, by the way, I can't send you all this documentation, although it's available inside Toastmasters International. I'm going to share two important documents. I have them separate because it's easier to update. It's easier to input information. In the club officer, the document, you have to decide if it's the terms of officer's term is annual, so from July 1st to June 30, or if it's semi-annual. So first part of the year is from July 1st to December 31, and then second part is from January 1st to June 30. The club number, if you know the club number, but if you already have the charter kit, when you send out the information for application to organize and they send you the charter kit, you will have a specific number for the club. You can have it here, and also the district, which is District 59 in our case. So in this form, you have all the information for the 7 officers. Once again, there is no need to have more than the secretary and the president, but I advise you to have, let me disconnect the sound, I advise you to have all the officers possible in order not to have the information additionally when you adding information afterwards. So basically what they do is having their name, email address. If they already are a Toastmasters member, their members number, and you don't need to have additional information here. There is no need to sign because they already have their application form to sign. So this is another form that we need to use. Then, besides this one, I have here a checklist I'm going to show you afterwards, but besides this one, we also have the documentation about the club constitution. So this club constitution is a huge document that is where you have your bylaws. So basically, you don't need to fulfill a lot of information here. You need to fill the certificate of adoption. So the secretary of the club says that, okay, I certify this is, I want to charter the club. There is a majority, and it's signed by club secretary and signed by club president. And then inside the document, the only thing you need to fill out is at the end information specifically for the club. Here, so in this page, you need to say so the name of the club, and here is the formal name of the club. So up to now, the club can, for example, let's say that you are in the process for chartering club in Rome, Italy. When you send out the application to organize, the club will be called Rome Toastmasters Prospect, so because it's not a formal club. Even if you gave a name to the club before in the application to organize. But here is where we are going to say what will be the name, official name of the club. You can change this afterwards. You can request the name change for Toastmasters International, but here we are going to say what will be the name of our club, the club name, number, location, and district. And above this, we are going to define several things. First of all, we can limit for example, a club to a specific thing. For example, we can say that this club is only for project manager institute members, for example. Or we can say that this club is specifically for all the employees or a company. Or you can say this is a club specifically for members of an organization, for example, a church or other kind of organization. We can define and we can specify restrictions to this club. So, and when someone joins the club, they need to meet this condition in order to be a member. So basically, if there is no restrictions, we are saying no restrictions here. And you, in the line below, you are going to define how many, in terms of the honorary members. For example, I said that we can give something back to the company that gave us a venue. We can have honorary members, and we can say that, for example, the president or the CEO of that organization that gave us the venue can be an honorary member. Also, how much are you going to charge to each member? And this is important. We have the normal Toastmasters International fee, but in order for a club to be sustainable, because the club needs to sometimes to have photocopies, to have forms, and to have money in order to do their normal daily business inside the club, you can charge above this value that Toastmasters International charges. And here you will decide how much are you going to charge to each member for them to attend to the club in terms of fee, and also in terms of club dues. So here usually we pay $20 to Toastmasters International. You can decide to have another fee. Also the club dues each semester, how much they are going to pay. And you can even decide that there is an annual fee instead of paying by semester. Also, and this is not usual in many clubs, you can decide that your club will have a reinstatement fee. So if someone stopped paying the membership and then he decided or she decided to join like 1 year after, you can say, okay, for rejoin the club, you need to pay. In order to be reinstated, you need to pay, for example, the same amount as you pay as an initial fee, or you say you don't need to pay anything. That's the normal situation in most of the clubs in our district, so they don't have any reinstatement fee. Also, you can also define a transfer fee, because it will give some work to you, and you can decide to, if there is a transfer, you can decide how much is going to cost to the members. Also, usually there is no transfer fee between clubs, but you can decide whatever. So if you decide something differently, you need to specify here. Additionally, you can also so you can have more information regarding inactive member dues, regarding what is the periodicity, so how many times per month and in which day of the week, at which time does the club meet, because this information is going to be available from the Toastmasters International website. Also, the meeting for Officers Club, what is the periodicity that they attend, additional club officers, also the information about the terms. So basically all the information about what is the rules inside the club, how the club is going to be run, how the club is going to follow, what kind of rules. For example, we use Robert's Rules of Order in order to run our club meetings, area council meetings, district executive meetings, and you can decide that even there is another kind of rules you want to follow. And last but not least, it needs to be signed by the club secretary. So all this information, you can see the first page, and these last two ones are the most important, that define how the club is run. So if you decided, for example, to change the fee that you are going to charge to your members, you need to change this information and send again to Toastmasters International, because these are the rules that rule the way the club runs. And it's very important not only to be updated, but they need to be available to all club members. Any club member can request the bylaws of the club. They are available to the officers online, but everyone can request them. And when they request, you need to present them. Because, for example, a club can say, okay, now I'm going to charge, for example, 400 euros per year to a Toastmaster member. Okay, if it's here, if it's allowed, because it's here, so it was voted in the club, in club meetings that the club is going to raise the fees. They need to be here in order to be valid. If they are not here, you cannot ask for 100 euros to your members because it was not approved by the club and it's not written and sent out to Toastmasters International. And last but not least, in terms of documents, there is the payments. And the payments is the only place, and I repeat, the only place where we need to include financial information. Again, the initial documents that we have for the name of the members, you don't need to include anything. And here you are going to include everything regarding payments. Once again, club name, all the information, and below you can define, first of all, how many dual members we have. For example, we have 2 dual members as an example. You can say here, oh, my PDF reader decided to not respond. So, but you can say we have 2 dual members. We don't do dual members. We don't have any members kit. Remember, a dual member is someone that is already a member for another club, so you don't need any kit member, and we don't need to request any money to a dual member because you don't have that kind of policy, for example, inside your bylaws. So usually, dual member, you don't pay the initial fees. If he's a reinstated member, so someone that didn't renew and they are going to join again, okay, we can have 1 or 2, or let's say 2 as an example. We don't have, again, any members kit for him because or her is already a Toastmaster, and we are not going to charge except if we decided to have a reinstatement fee. The transfer members, the same thing. We can transfer a member and we don't have the kits, so everything will be 0. So this is one of the things. Secondly, we have for sure, you might say, okay, Nelson, but we have new members. We have 20 members. So what about 20 members? Here is where we are going to say how many members, new members, we are going to charter in the process. We can say that we are going to charter 20 plus these ones are going to be included in the new club. And here, yes, you need to then just do a click, it automatically updates, and that's what we need to pay for the new members. Secondly, we need also to pay the membership, the dues, and when we are chartering a club independently, the month where we are chartering, Toastmasters International will charge us the 6 months period, and then they are going to adjust the fees next term. As an example, if I charter a club in February, Toastmasters International is going to charge me the 45 US dollars for a 6 month period. But when I'm going to renew the membership in October, they are going to adjust the membership fee because I already paid 6 months in advance, so I'm going to pay only the difference. So that's one of the things. And here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay for, in this case, the 20 new members and the 5 additional members I want to have inside of my club. So basically, what I'm going to do here is to say that I'm going to, 25, I'm going to pay the 25 members. So I do the math, here is not calculating automatically, and then I will have the total in order to pay to Toastmasters International. Once again, I need to sign, and then I need to decide if I'm going to pay this by credit card or by wire transfer. If you pay by wire transfer, you need to consider the 10% amount of the value for administrative costs. So if we do this, so basically if we include the right information about dual members, real estate members, transfer members, we don't need to do anything more. Don't fill out this information about members kits because these 3 types of members, dual members, restatement and transfer, they don't need to pay the members kit, they already have. You need to consider the the kids number, number of kids for the new members, they need to be paid because they are not paid inside, they are not included inside the $125, and then you need to pay the entire members fee for a period of 6 months to everyone that will be part of the club. So this is the process we need to do in order to do charter. All the documents are the ones that I showed up, and there is a way for us to understand if we are filling everything. There is a checklist, this one, so you can do the check to all the things that we are already filling in terms of forms, and this is a way for us to understand if we are on track or not. Usually I have an additional document that I share with everyone that requests me information. Oh, by the way, just to show you, what I do usually is I send out, I'm going to show you one of my emails. I send out these emails to everyone that wants to charter the club, because here you have all the, let me try to open this. Wait, needs to, okay, forget it, the email was closed. But basically what I do, I have an email with all the forms, what is needed for everyone to do this kind of the charter process, and I advise people to send me the documents in order for me to check them to see if everything is okay, because sometimes things stopped, for example, in the payments. There are many issues regarding payments because some of our colleagues, they don't fill out the information correctly, and sometimes there is something missing. So this is one of the emails I send out. This was for one of my Portuguese colleagues. Oh, and these are all the documentation. So basically that's what I share. So the checklist, all the process, everything that I'm mentioning today, all the documents, to where you need to send the information, so to the email that you need to send this kind of information. And I add at the end an Excel file that can help summarizing everything that we are sending to United States. Why? Because sometimes we have the information written by hand, and our colleagues, they don't understand, for example, an email address, or they don't understand the name of the person because it's not common to them. So I give to people that are in the charting process this Excel file where you can put the Toastmasters number if they exist and fill out all the data needed. For example, here you can choose if it's a new member or if it's a reinstated member. So by using this Excel file, it helps our colleagues in the United States because they can check the form that you are sending and also the data that you are putting in the Excel file. So it's a way to make process easy for them and also for you, because if things are not right, sometimes they take too long to get back to you. Sometimes there are misunderstandings in the communication of what is needed. So my advice is use that Excel file to include all members, and you can send the documentation to me. I can review the documentation, and then if everything is okay, you send it to United States, and the process is straightforward. Sometimes there are people that add, for example, more money than it's expected, and although they don't charge any additional money through the credit card, but for example, if you do a wire transfer, then there is a reimbursement, and sometimes this kind of process takes time. So by reviewing everything, I can help you on with that. We can guarantee that everything is right to send out, and then we can follow up. There is a in our dashboard. We can, and I will show you. In our dashboard, we have information about the clubs that are being chartered, and sometimes we can see that the problems are, for example, documentation missing. Others is there is the payment missing, and people don't know what they need to do in order to finish the process. If it's a corporate club, well, the corporate club has special special attention because a corporate club sometimes needs to, due to the corporate rules, they need to, let me just open here, they need to, for example, do one-time payments and they have additional requirements from Toastmasters International in order to do this kind of payments. So can be more tricky, as I said. But let me show you here in our dashboard, we have a report where you can see all the clubs that are in the prospect phase. And you can see, for example, that in this club, basically the club is already finished the process, so the payment was received. Now what we need to do is wait for the confirmation that the club is already chartered. But as another example, this is a corporate club, Airbus, and this club the payment is missing. Now if I'm going to talk with the club, I know that the club already paid and there is some issues regarding VATs and also sometimes 10% in terms of transfer. So the club is right now, since December, waiting final payment. Sometimes it's not the entire payment, sometimes it's something that is missing, and Toastmasters International is not going to move forward unless this is finished. Again, this is a Portuguese club. For example, in this situation, there is a document that Toastmasters International needs to send to the company in order not to have double taxation. And for them, as this document was not sent and signed out by both parties, is still payment missing from December. Again, another one, payment incomplete. So this club, I don't know if it's a corporate club or not, but I'm going to check. There is an issue with payment. So the other ones, they are missing. Sometimes missing and incomplete means the same thing because internally there are different states and stages. But in this situation, it's incomplete. So you can see payment missing again, payment missing. Some of them they have a date because there is something going on. But here we have some issues. Additionally, an example, the club from Seville, the application to organize was sent, but there is payment missing for the starter kit. I know this is also a corporate club. So you can see that I can follow up all clubs here, and we can follow up all clubs, and we can understand what are the status. And if you ask me help, I can reach out to our colleagues in the United States and unblock any kind of situations, and from their side or from the club side. And sometimes we don't know what is happening. We don't know what is missing, and we cannot act because from your side sometimes you are waiting something and no one knows what is the something we are waiting because we don't have an idea of what is missing. So here you can see what is missing. As an example, we have here, for example, clubs that the application to organize were sent. The payment was received from Toastmasters International, and these clubs are they are prospect clubs, and they are in the process of gathering the 20 members in order to send out the documentation. So we have a lot of prospective clubs here. For example, another one. Now I'm seeing in the bottom of the lists. So we have application to organize was received, and the payment was received also. So this club, in a couple of days, maybe 1 week, will move to application to organize and charter fee received. So we can know what are the status, and I have tools to follow up all this information and then to help you. Additionally, besides the documents I can send you individually in order for you to work on them and to be easy to work on them, there are two important documents that you can find out inside Toastmasters International website, or I can send them to you. The first one, how to build a Toastmaster club. It's very useful for you to understand what are the necessary steps to create the club. Even you have an idea of an agenda you can use, and how to sponsor a new club is also another document for you to know if you are a club sponsor, what are the activities you need to do, basically the ones I explained before. And also in these documents you have the forms I show you. But I usually work with them individually because it's easy to give people to sign them. So these are the steps that we need to do to, first of all, find club sponsors, find club mentors. Club sponsors will support the club up to the charter process is finished. Club mentors will support the club up to 6 or 1 year of the initial life of the club in order to allow the club to be sustainable. All the documentation, it's available online on Toastmasters. You can have these two documents there, if you can find them, the 121 and 218H. I can send you the documents. I can help you also review everything that you need in order to have all the documentation right when you send it out to Toastmasters International. Now, we can have additional question and answers regarding the process, any kind of doubts you might have. So please feel free to open your microphone and I can answer any question that you might have. Additional information. Next week on Thursday, we are going to talk about how to support a corporate club. We are touching some of the aspects we have here, some issues regarding to charter the club as a corporate club, but then we are going to talk also about how to identify key people inside the company and how to support that club to be sustainable, because many corporate clubs worldwide don't have a very long life. So they, and on average between 2-3 years, because sometimes people leave the club, and we can help you on that. We can help you identify new members and how to communicate inside the club the message in order to have a sustainable club, which means a club with good quality in terms of speeches, good evaluations, and with enough people to have this kind of diversity. Now, questions and answers. So if you want to have a question, or if you have a question, please feel free to open the microphone, ask all the questions you need. No.
Nelson, it's Francesco.
Yes, Francesco.
Can you explain a little bit more in detail the number of dual members that you can have when chartering? I know there is some limitation, but it's always very complex to understand it, really.
Yes, we have some limitations when we are charting the clubs. So we can have up to we have from the 20. So we are considering always 20 members. Regarding the charter, we can have more, as I told you, but the idea is to sometimes have inside the club people that is from other clubs, and these persons can consider to be dual members. We can have up to 3 dual members in a new club, no more than 3. Now you can transfer a member. It's a different thing. Transferring a member is like having a new member inside a club. Also, you can have a reinstated member, and there is no specific limit for that. But in terms of dual members, yes, you can have up to 3 dual members in the total number of members when you are chartering. Afterwards, you can have more. People can join. Oh, by the way, the important thing, afterwards, after the charter process, you don't need to send to Toastmasters International each member's form. You can go directly to the web. You need to have the form because you need to have authorization for any new member that he say that I'm joining the club from free will. So you need to have the member's information, the signature of the member, and you need to keep this information because Toastmasters can request it. But you can create the new member, add the new member directly on the website on District Central in Toastmasters International, and you can have as many dual members as you want. But in the charter process, you need to have up to 3 members. Dual members. Any additional question?
Yes, thank you.
So I don't know if any of you have any additional questions to ask. So Patricia, I see the...
I have some.
Hi Patricia, how are you?
I have some. Patricia from Roma.
Yeah, tell me.
How are you?
I'm...
Sorry, I arrived a bit late because I had an issue.
No problem. We are recording
I
this
wanted to
session.
ask.
Tell me.
Oh, okay, grazie. Molto obrigada. A question. Can a sponsor support a new club online if the location of the club is too far away?
Well, it can support the club online. The thing is, he needs to, well, the club sponsor can do basically some of their tasks online. By being present, it's completely different because the club sponsor can help finding a new venue. He can help negotiating the venue. He can help finding people that can be that officers of the club. But there is no specific rule saying the club sponsor needs to be physically there to support the club. So yes, club sponsor can support the club according to rules if even he or she is from other place. But the thing is only regarding the kind of support he or she can give being far away from the club. But yes, it can be it can be supporting the club online. Now, for example, one of the activities the club sponsor needs to do is to prepare the demo session and also to guarantee that everything is working and presenting this demo session, for example. This specific situation, presenting, he needs or she needs to be there and needs advice to be there. But yes, there are many activities that can be done online, remotely. And by the way, regarding your question, the club mentor, there is no rule saying that club mentor cannot be also someone far away and supporting the club online. The thing is, the club mentor should be there, should attend the sessions in order to help in identify points of improvement in the club, mentoring the club officers. But that's why also you can have up to two, because you can distribute the work and you can say, okay, there are some kind of activities where, for example, we can meet remotely and I can share my knowledge, I can share knowledge about the structure of the agenda, how the club officers can perform better their roles, and then you can have someone locally supporting and attending the meetings. Preferably, the mentor should be always there and attending all sessions of the club because it's a way to support the club as a mentor. Sponsoring, well, I can sponsor the club remotely. I can try to find a location and negotiate with, for example, a hotel chain, as an example, remotely. And if I go to my city, I can negotiate something for another place. I can talk with people that are interested and support them remotely. So there are some activities I can do without being there, but when the club starts, at least the initial meeting, it will be there. More questions? Let me just put here the slide with my email address. So because if you have
Hello, Nelson.
Hello?
Hello, it's Emilia.
Hi, Emilia.
How are you? I just don't have a question but a suggestion.
Tell
I don't
me.
know because maybe you already said because I joined later. My suggestion would be on top of what you said. I strongly recommend as soon as you send the application to the prospect, the application to organize, to set up Easy Speak if you can.
Okay.
Because it helps, for example, it helps in Barcelona at least other members to jump in because they can see this as a club. And what I've seen that it's also helped the club to start using it.
Yes, that's a very important point. So and as soon, not only as soon as you send the application, is as soon as you have the club number, because when you send the application and after Toastmasters International will review everything and say everything it's okay, they will give you the club number, and with that club number you can contact now Bill Mansour, which is the person that is supporting us in EasySpeak, and he can create the club inside EasySpeak, and where you can have all your members and start using EasySpeak to structure your agendas, sending out all the emails. So that's a very important aspect when you are starting in the beginning. And this is one of the things where the club sponsor can help you also. So the procedures and the club mentor, the procedures to organize sessions. So in this situation, the club sponsor should help you also on these kind of situations of, okay, let's talk with Bill Mansour, let's set up, let's gather all the information about the members. All this information is sponsor responsibility to help each new club. Thank you, Emilio, for your tip.
You're welcome.
More questions?
Nelson
Tell me.
Francesco again. A question on a special case of chartering, which is when a club is split. How do you handle that?
How I handle from each perspective.
When a club is split, you're actually creating a new club.
Correct.
From a part of an existing one. So you have to go through the normal chartering process as usual?
Okay, this is a transfer. So basically you are creating a new club and you are transferring members to a new club. And in this situation, it's important, first of all, to talk with Toastmasters International, or I can help you on the process, but you are transferring new members. So basically, you need to have also the kit, the initial application for organize, but then the members is basically you are transferring members to this new club. And that's why they also need to sign the form, they need to pay their fees. If the fees are already paid, then you need to pay to Toastmasters International, and they will adjust the terms depending on the moment of the year. They are going to adjust the respective fees, and you transfer, I don't know, 20 members, 15 to this new club. But it's use the same form, the same procedure in order to do that.
Okay, thank you.
I was seeing Andrea. Andrea wants to...
Yes, it's me from Palermo.
How are you? Great.
I'm fine, thank you. I would like to ask, is it compulsory to have a demo meeting before the birth of a new club?
No.
Or it can be done maybe remotely?
No, well, remotely, the demo meeting, the demo meeting is very important. I consider it the first session and should be the first one, because it's a way for you first to show Toastmasters concept to a broader audience. It's supposedly to a meeting where you deeply planned it and promote it in order to have broader audience, and it's a way to show so what are the benefits and gather new members on the spot. So it's not mandatory, it's a best practice, and when I look to all the clubs in the past, so I'm Toastmaster since 2011, and here in Portugal we grew a lot and we use this kind of approach. Other countries the same thing, because it's a session that is targeted for specifically to announce. And sometimes in the demo meeting you already have the 20 members. So there are people that said, okay, I want to join, and we have examples around Europe that people charter the club, and in the demo meeting they already had 20 members. Even they print out a special certificate. It's not an official one, but say, okay, now we have the 20 members and we are presenting a special certificate of recognition for this kind of members. But the thing is, it's not mandatory, should not be a remote session, and you can request the application to organize kits, schedule the first session, and start running from that point onwards. But I really advise to give a special touch to this kind of meeting. That's why we have budget in the district to help demo sessions to because for me this is a demo session. Sometimes I heard people saying open houses. I see two different concepts. Open house is a normal Toastmasters, not a normal, but it's a Toastmasters session where we are going to have an additional care, additional touch, because it's open to members, to guests, and we are promoting to guests. So it's something that we should pay more attention to, explain detail the roles, have a special member kit, because all other sessions we can have like closed sessions. There are clubs that do open sessions the entire year, so they are open to anyone, they can appear, but there are clubs that say, no, this is normal sessions, and once per month we open and promote the session to outside community. So these are open houses sessions. Then the demo meeting for me can even be one of that sessions, but for me it's the first one. So I'm demonstrating the concept, and I'm using these also to be the first to mark the first session of the club. And we have budget to help organize these kind of things for your members. But it's not mandatory, of course.
Okay, thank you.
More questions. So we have almost 1 hour and a half, but I can have 1 hour and a half and close at that time. So I don't know if you have any additional questions. By the way, use my email, so you can ask me questions through email. Of course, you can ask questions to Toastmasters International, but my role as Club Growth Director is to support your clubs and to support you creating new clubs. So anything that you need, any doubt, any documentation, even procedure, how to do things, I'm here to help. Also, the rest of the core team, Francesco as the public relation manager, also can help you in terms of promotion in social media. Not only Anna Isabel, quality director, can help you setting up all the meetings, also sharing best practice inside the district, because the program quality director has a very important role supporting the meetings and the vice president of education and all officers, even with the training. So please reach out to us. We are here, we are on the other side of the emails, and we can help you running your club, running your areas and divisions in the best way, not because we want to have more clubs because we want to have more clubs, it's because we want people to enjoy Toastmasters concept, want to take Toastmasters concept to other places. And one of the things that breaks my heart is sometimes to see meetings with 5 members in a session. And sometimes they even don't do a normal session because it's not feasible to this kind of sessions. So it's important to take concept to other cities that are far away. I know that takes time from our part, that sometimes takes money because you need to travel there. But that's, we can create clubs. We cannot create clubs without moving people to go there and to like doing demo sessions, or to put clubs together, and then try to involve and to have people committed to the club, to participate in the club. Don't stop on the CC level. Go beyond that, and teach and mentor other members on how to have a good session. That's very important. So it's all about commitment from my side. So my perspective is, if we are committed to our own personal growth, we will have for sure clubs that will strive that have diversity, that have fun meetings, that can have people with very inspiring speeches, that can even win international contests. It's not about the contest itself, but it's about the path. And support clubs, because supporting by having the sponsor role or by having the mentor role, it will contribute, yes, for your DTM, for your Advanced Leader Silver, but that's not the goal. That's the consequence of supporting someone. That's the consequence of giving your knowledge and your experience in order to help other people that are starting doing the things that you that you did and receive the value that you received by attending the meeting. So that's very important, and that's one of the key messages I want to convey to you in all my webinars, and even if you know me, you know that's the way I promote things is commitment. Our commitment to our goal and to help others, and things will for sure thrive, and you will have healthy clubs and sustainable clubs. So if you don't have any additional questions, I thank you very much your time, 1 hour and a half here, hearing me, all the stuff that I present to you, and reach out whenever you need. So thank you very much, and I see you next week in the webinar Supporting a Corporate Club at 8:30 CET, Central European Time. Additionally, this webinar is recorded right now, being recorded, and will be available, even with my bad English, but will be available on our website. So if you want to then attend and to share in a couple of maybe days or weeks, Francesco will put the other one, this one, and the next one in the website for you to share with your officers, with your members, with the information that I've been sharing during this 1 hour and a half. So thank you very much, and see you next week. Bye-bye.